And then here comes Dwayne again. But alas, the dueling media narratives have brought us to the edge of civil war. MAGA versus the woke military.
Yeah, that's yeah, the woke military.
The woke
It never
military.
fails to like get a laugh out of me because it's like the military's kind of like always been woke. Like they're actually a very progressive entity. Like nowadays, they're renaming bases and renaming carriers so they're not named after like Confederate generals or racists of the past and whatnot. It's like it, and another thing about that too is I believe it was like the Space Commander or whatever. Alabama really wanted Space Command. I'm pretty sure it was Alabama, but they ended up I think settling in Colorado, mostly because I believe Alabama is very regressive in their civil rights laws, particularly towards trans individuals and women.
I had no idea. I had no idea. When did you find that out?
Uh, Sometime in the middle of last year. I believe I think I watched Bo of the Fifth Column cover it, but and that's the case for like multiple different bases. It's like um, I think the military is even like paying their servicemen servicewomen if they're in a state that has like restricted access to um, like reproductive medicine and access to abortion and whatnot, to actually travel out of states and get what they need to like taken care of. Because it's like it's so pervasive in a lot of these red states that it's like like the generals and like the top brass are saying that it's a readiness issue because it's like if our service women, servicemen and women, aren't able to like access like the proper medical care that they need, like that's going to cause a readiness issue in these areas. And so like it's no wonder a lot of the Republicans are like claiming that the military is woke or they're starting to butt heads. Like I think it was like Tuberville or whatever. Senator Tuberville was like holding up promotions for a long time because of this
Yeah,
fucking
Tommy
nonsense.
Tuberville.
Yep, yeah.
Yeah, you know
So,
what you know how he got into politics? He was the coach of Auburn football. Yeah,
oh my god, wild.
that's what we need is football coaches as politicians. That's what we need more of in this country.
Yeah, no
I mean,
kidding.
dumb jock, man. Just if you coach dumb jocks, you probably have the mind of a dumb jock. Um,
No kidding.
so yeah, it's interesting you make all these points. I remember some of them for sure. Now that you bring them back up again,
Yeah.
and the key to getting the military vote for me has got to be Veterans Affairs
Yes.
after and retirement and health care, and just treat the left should recruit the military veterans politically because why
Yeah.
not? What are we? Because we're not patriotic enough.
Right.
Because we're not into war as much. Because we don't. I mean, we like all the movies about the military. Man, come on. Like
Yeah.
we can get there. We can get there with the vets. I think. Don't you think?
Yeah, like conservative. I mean, obviously, like there are conservative, like patriotic military members and whatnot, but like they're just the loudest. There are actually a lot of progressive military members, like in service and whatnot. Like I think like a couple of their groups, like it might be the VA or something like that. I think they endorsed Bernie Sanders in 2020. It's like they're not all in for Trump, and like and the idea that a lot of these MAGA types believe that like the military would be behind Trump if he tried to like do a successful coup is kind of it's kind of insane. Like it's very likely not going to be the case because a lot of service men and women actually understand that the Republican Party doesn't actually give a shit about them. They would rather
Right.
defund the VA and deny veterans their health benefits and whatnot. I mean, the Democrats aren't much better, but at least they actually wouldn't like go out of their way to cut it and pretend that they're on their side, you know. So like, yeah, clearly, like the Republican Party is not even remotely close to what the future should be when it comes to passing policy for veterans in general.
I'm surprised that Trump didn't find a way to spend some more money on veterans affairs and shore up that uniform worship, I call it on one of my episodes, where
Yeah,
the
no,
GOP and conservative voters worship the uniform.
yeah, he would rather champion legislation that bans transgender individuals from serving in the military. Like that's the most fucking important thing. Not the countless veterans that are homeless out on the streets, or the veterans that aren't able to access their benefits and healthcare. You know, it's he's just going to go along with what's being regurgitated amongst the culture warriors in conservative media.
What if, I put in for the description for this episode, could California save democracy?
I
What
did
if
see
we
that.
made, what if we said, I mean, I was just kind of like, I was just thinking, like, what else could we put in here that would sound fun?
Right.
But
Yeah.
I also do want our show to have a slant towards California because I think, Nixon said that change in America moves from left to right on the map. And, there's a way to embrace that if we're in California. So why don't we
Yeah.
make veterans in California have no worries, like they have a nice place to retire in
Of
Oceanside, or
course.
and and it'd be cool if we had a governor that had made that a priority, and we could have kind of overtaken that in a branding
Yeah.
way. My mind always goes to political marketing, right?
Right.
So I don't know
Yeah.
if
I
that
agree.
could have if that was a missed opportunity, if there were missed opportunities there.
Right. No, I mean, when it comes to Democrats in general, like missed opportunities is like their whole brand at this fucking point. But yeah, no, that would actually be like if someone actually gotten Gavin Newsom's ear about that, like there's so much potential. Like really, the sky is the limit. It's just about actually uh, devoting yourself to the messaging and like actually campaigning for these issues that like obviously like Republicans have dropped the ball on or just won't touch or won't even bother championing.